What's up, guys? More Medic One. Hey, listen, today's specimen is going to be on this
17 Ford Edge, 2014 to 2019-ish. It will be all the same repair procedure. We're going to do brakes on it, and there's a couple of steps that you got to do to be able to service the back brakes on this thing. The back brakes are completely gone. I've never seen a car wear the back brakes out before the front brakes. From what I understand, I've messaged a ton of you Ford mechanics out there and said that, oh my gosh, you got 80,000 miles out of the brakes on a Ford Edge? Well, you did something right. So let's pull this thing down. I'll show you what you have to do to get these electronic parking brake actuators in park brake service mode, because if you don't, you will destroy the calipers when you go to push the pistons back in. All right, so what we got to do, don't mind man, we live out in the country. It's dirty. We try to vacuum this thing out once a week, but check this out. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to turn the car on. You're going to mash the brake, the accelerator all the way down, and you have to have two hands to do this. So you push this parking brake down, and then you hit the start button. So we're going to turn it on, push the gas pedal all the way down, push the parking brake down, turn it off, and then back on. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so when it does that sound, let me have it. It's going to tell you that you're in park brake service mode. Right there, park brake maintenance mode. And the way you take it out of that when you're done working on the brakes is the same exact procedure, except you pull this away, pull back on the parking brake. Alright, I got it jacked up off the ground. I'm going to take the wheel off. Got my safety stands under it. Should be good to go. Just my luck, starts to rain. I don't think it's going to be a drencher, but we're going to get a little bit. Must have hit the wrong button. All right, first thing we're going to do is pull this little rattle clip off. Just take you a pair of pliers and get underneath of it. Pull it off there and set it off to the side. Sorry about the rain noise, folks. This is a metal shop. So anyway, you take the plug out of the back up here and right up here, and there'll be an Allen bolt that's 7mm. Go ahead and get those loosened up. Pull the caliper off, and that's going to give us room to, we're going to flip this over, and we're just going to let it rest right here on the backing plate for the time being. As you can tell, look at all the electronics for the parking brake, and I'll show you the pad here. The inboard pad is worn out, but the outboard pad is just completely shot. I mean, it's done for. All right, so we got our caliper pushing tool in, and what we're going to do is we're going to rotate as we push. And this was going to go counterclockwise on this side. And that it stopped right there, so we're not going to go any further. All right, so now we got to get the caliper bracket off, and sometimes these are on there pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my big wrench. Yeah. Once you get them broke loose with the big ratchet, you can get it with a smaller one. There we go. Nothing to it. Now, ooh, babe.
Yeah.
Maybe where some of the noise is coming from. This bearing back here. It shouldn't. I'll check the other side when I do the other side, but that shouldn't be any. Should be any. You guys can hear that on camera. I couldn't hear it whenever I jacked the wheel off the ground because it had no play, but I can obviously hear that. I mean, if I had one, it'd be so easy just to knock it out and put a new one in right now. But let's go ahead and get the brakes put on it because that's the point of this whole video. Hey guys, look at this rotor. Brand new in the box. All rusty. I'm gonna try to get some of my get some tub of towels and see if we can knock some of that off and get this causing the lean off of here. It's okay to have a little rust on there. They're gonna rust up when you park the car and leave it overnight after a rain anyway. All this rust will be worn off in a matter of seconds anyway. Man, that tub of towels just absolutely works. And the back side looks pretty good. Go ahead and slide the rotor on. All right, once you get the caliper pushed in, you're gonna have to rotate it back just a little bit so that the pin is at 90 degrees perpendicular to the caliper, because your new pad has a pin right here that's going to coincide with either one of these indentions right there. Go ahead and put the mount the caliper bracket back on. Now we can set the pads in. Pretty simple and straightforward on that one. Now we're going to set the caliper back down over it. Make sure your hoses are not pinched in any way. Make sure your slide pins here are nice and free. This one is good and free. See that? And then this one's kind of stiff. We need to pull it out and put a little silicone grease on it. Just put a little bit of brake lube on there. Oh yeah, see how much better that is now? Matter of fact, I'll just do it to both of them. This is what we're going to be using on the slide pins. It's just some silicone paste. Guys, I'll put a link in the description for everything that I used here today, so that you can do your brake job easy and efficiently. All right, push your slide pins back. And then we're going to fit the caliper over our pads here. And then we'll start our bolts by hand. Get your caliper bolts snug. You don't have to kill them. These are not super big, heavy duty bolts. Just give them a torque. Use common sense, folks. Okay. Lastly, we'll put the anti-rattle spring in. Slips on by hand. Don't forget to put your little rubber dust caps in the caliper bolts. Alrighty guys, let's get this other side done. Yep, this one's quieter. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a hub bearing on the right side. then lastly, don't forget to put on your rattle clip. Or anti-rattle clip, I should say. I'm just not holding my mouth right. Let's try it this. Let's try it this way. There we go, just like that. All right, so we're up on the front now, and it's got a rattle clip that can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but if you'll just take a heavy screwdriver and put it in here and just pop it, it'll come right out. Be wearing your safety glasses. Same as the back, and loosen up your caliper bolts. The front pads probably could have gone another few thousand miles, but they're getting thin. And look at how the edge is just feathered. It's time to replace them. They're glazed over. So that's the outboard. Here is the inboard one with the clips that press into the pistons here. Caliper mounting bolts, caliper bracket mounting bolts are 18 millimeter, and they are on there, buddy. One there, and one right here. I love having a long handle ratchet. Good Lord. Front rotors look perfect. Not all rusted up like the back ones. Let me clean all the oil and grease off of these, and we'll put them on here in just a second. All right, I'm gonna slide these right in. Sometimes they'll be a pain in the booty to get in there, but they'll go. Don't forget to lubricate your slide pins if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out and do that. They are dry as a bone. All right, now we can slide the caliper back on there. Don't get your hose twisted. Now we can start our caliper bolts. All right, so we're gonna collapse the pistons on this one. So what you do is you just get you a big strong screwdriver and catch it right behind the caliper and that brake pad until you can get behind the brake pad. Just a little bit, because you're going to be replacing them anyway. Ease it. Now get you a bite. And boom, 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 boom. Dual piston calipers are collapsed. If I can get this one out again without turning it up. Forgot. go to put these anti-rattle clips in, it's pretty straightforward. You just take your screwdriver, pop it in, get this one kind of in the vicinity it needs to go, and it'll pop right in like that. And lastly, just install your little dust caps. And then put the wheel back on and you should be good to go. Cool. Man, if one thing is gets you nastier than you know what, and that's doing brake work. I love these tub of towels for in between cleanings. It absolutely is a blessing in the shop. Look at that. Take you some dry shop rags and you're good to go. Turn the wheel straight for me. Keep going. That's good. A little bit more. Okay. Thanks. Alrighty guys, we got the 2017 Ford Edge 4-wheel brake job done and test driven. Everything seems to be okay. So guys, if this content helped you out, give me a thumbs up. And while you're there doing that, click that subscribe button and click that bell so that you get all of my new content. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend. More Medic One.